Hey guys, this is your boy, Holistic Health of Harry, doing a little mini podcast episode with you guys. I'm wearing the blue blocking glasses. It's nighttime, very good for health. Uh, Not good to look at blue screens at night, yeah? Um, Sun lasing and all these things. And yeah, I want to talk a little bit about just a quick story about psychedelic medicine. I'm always involving myself in psychedelic medicine um, for speed of evolution in myself, for self-awareness, for increased compassion, for softening my ego, and looking through blind spots. Because on this journey of life, we all have a lot of blind spots. On the deepest level, most of us are asleep within the dream and have a load of blind spots. And the last blind spot to say is the fact that we truly do walk around asleep within this dream. We feel attached to things that we want. We crave more of it, that wanting, which causes the ego to chase the past and the future, and we averse to other things, trying to resist the moment or resist so-called bad things, which again puts us in past or future and not accepting the moment as it is. So blind spots is huge, and psychedelic medicine is great. Um, Look, I subscribe to the belief that we don't need psychedelic medicine. You can do all the work, do the full self-realization without it. But by the same token, I'm one of those people that tries to speed up what I can do by using plant medicine tools, organic like mushrooms, and even synthetic. Like a huge fan of ecstasy, gain quality ecstasy. Huge fan of LSD too. Uh, and with the natural medicines, some of which I've tried, ayahuasca, ibogaine, which I tried, and I want to try in a bigger dose. I want to try ayahuasca in a bigger dose. Tried bufo, I want to do them again. DMT, I want to do again. These aren't just one-off medicines when you're serious about your growth, although they can get tremendous value from ones. It's something you've got to be doing continually, regularly the rest of your life to unpack the layers of vibration and blind spots, things that you just can't see without them or take much longer to see without them. So with that being said, I want to share a story about I took with my best friend G-Man Phoenix, Greg. Yesterday, we took a pill each of 2CB, which is a mixture of MDMA, ecstasy, and LSD. Now, to do them at the same time or one close after the other is called candy flipping. So it's well known in the psychedelic community. There's many benefits of ecstasy that are coming out now. It's legal for couples therapy in some places around the world. There's many studies, universities coming out with the benefits. Authentic medicine dumps you a load of serotonin. You feel very comfortable and present, non-judgmental. You feel real and raw. Your ego softens a lot. Uh, it's pretty crazy. It's an empathogenic, not an endogenic, empathogenic. So it gives you a lot of empathy. And LSD, it's just another level of godly medicine. One could argue that it's synthetic, and obviously it's made synthetically in lab. It's actually naturally derived from ergot, which is a fermented fruit or plant. I can't remember which. And it makes sense to me when it ferments, you take it. Uh, I think there was the ancient Greeks used a mixture called the kykeon that was fermented ergot, which is basically LSD tripping. And as you know, in the 60s and 70s, the hippies went crazy. Not to me crazy, but to the mainstream with LSD. It started softening the egos and started dissolve because what LSD does is dissolves, depending on how much you take of LSD, it dissolves the illusions of reality until you see what is. And that's exactly what me and Greg saw last night when we took 2CB. Now, it was the ecstasy, but I think it was a lot of it was the mix, but mainly the LSD. And we were feeling very high. Um, for me, my body became light. There's a certain frequency and heaviness to having trauma, going through trauma in your life, which is everybody. The more trauma you go through, the heavier and denser your body is. And there's a heaviness there. It's the false self, basically. You're running in separation conscious by ego because of the trauma, thinks it loses the power to trust what's going on in the present moment. And this causes a huge heaviness and fakeness, inauthenticity within the human avatar. And so I recognized a difference yesterday when I took that 2CB, and it was the LSD, I think, particularly. The body felt very loose, very light, almost childlike, almost like in the moment. Because when I was with Greg, for myself, I didn't want to think too much of the future and the past. Uh, I was almost like being stunned into the present moment, almost stunned into a moment of perfection. And that's what it feels like. to be a kid again. Funny enough, one way you can do it is to take LSD. Um, another way to do it is to let go, release, and not hold on to attachments and not wanting things and practicing these things. But psychedelic medicine is great for that. So it did loosen up my body, and I felt very light and free. And me and Greg had the most amazing experience when we went outside. We didn't even go that far outside the house here. And we went up a very slight incline. The moon was out, and I could see the pixels of the LSD. LSD is fascinating. When you look with your hands in LSD, you can see the purple and pink and green, yellow inflections of what I would call the matrix. The matrix is the holographic universe. This whole world is a dream. And when you take LSD, you can actually see you can see the energy coming off your hands and in the air and everything. And it's multicolored. And people that have taken LSD that aren't on a spiritual, not even on a spiritual path, that people that basically can justify as hallucination. But the truth is, when you take LSD, you're actually seeing how the matrix is being made beyond the senses, in the now almost. When we get completely present to the moment and awake from this dream, we allow in the unknown because we're not mentally labeling things, which makes it known and safe for us. So we're in the unknown, we can really see things. And LSD is a great one because when you take LSD, you can artificially kick yourself into the unknown because all you see is the unknown. And it's pretty mad. So we looked at the moon, and the moon looked incredibly vibrant, more than normal. It was pretty crazy. I could see the pixels around the moon. And then what was mad was when we turned back to go home, we didn't even go that far. We were overlooking another part because it was on an incline. We could see another town, maybe 20, 30, 40 miles down the beachfront. And the lights were stunning. But the thing is, me and Greg noticed the same thing, and it was definitely the LSD. It felt like I was looking at a cardboard copy of the world. The distance from that 30 miles felt like it was right here in front of me. It felt like the Truman Show when he comes at the end and hits the edge, and all of the edge is just a cardboard cutout of the sea, fake. And that's what me and Greg looked at, and I was shocked. And I was more shocked when Greg confirmed, and Greg doesn't lie, that he felt like we were looking at a holographic universe. The entire world is a fake construct, a hologram, if you will. We're living in a dream. And the ultimate goal of humans is actually we all God realize or self-realize or realize we're God. And that's the final level. When we stop attaching so much importance to the fake self, the ego, and we surrender to a higher power of the unknown that doesn't try and control things, doesn't resist, but accepts the moment perfectly it is. And that is the conscious awareness that resides within our vessels. We can access this naturally, by the way, and we can wake fully from the dream without these medicines. For LSD, you can access the conscious awareness more, that layer without judgment, and the unknown, which is often quite scary to go into, to be honest. It's why people freak out on LSD trips, ecstasy trips, magic mushroom trips. The present moment can be very scary depending on which level you're at. You can grow into it and start getting used to being the unknown, but it's a different veil of reality to the reality of concepts. And that amazed me what I saw. 30, 40 miles away. I knew the distance logically, but as me and Greg saw, it was a carbon cutout that was right in front of us here. And it looked fake. Because we are living in a dream, guys. And lastly, I'll say, we can wake up from this dream in one lifetime, but you have to put in the work to being present to the moment and surrendering, not resisting, learning that life is perfect, slow by slow or quick, tuning into your own ego delusions of inferiority, superiority we do with everyone, starting to tune into the fact that everything's perfect, being equal. There's many paths. You can follow Eckhart Tolle, follow Simply Free Awake on YouTube. There's loads of ways. Byron Katie. Do we really know things, stories of what we think people are? We got to start training the mind to access the unknown more and more, and trusting in the universe, because everything is perfect. And trauma, which we're all born into, and some go through more extreme cases than others, stops that trust and surrender into the moment. We try and control in our bodies and contract. We also try and control situations in our mind so we don't get triggered. And then we do get triggered. Sometimes we react unconsciously without self-reflecting afterwards. And in the ultimate level, we shouldn't be triggered at all. And when you awaken from the dream, you don't get triggered because you're not talking from ego fully. You sink back into infinite awareness consciousness, which isn't a personality's construct of me. It's a unified body field of conscious awareness that you can sink back into and access 24/7 in this reality whilst having an ego. It's the place we're all going to go to when we die. But like I said, the goal here is to die before you die and surrender the false self. So I hope you enjoyed my story. Plant medicine is great. And I'll be talking much more on this podcast about all these things. So I appreciate you listening. Thank you for your time. Yeah, and peace.